What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Soul Break. Thanks for stopping by my channel. It looks like the sneaker gods decided to bless me this week after all, because I finally got exclusive access on Nike.com in my home country for this pair. And as you can see, this is the Nike Dunk Low in collaboration with Off-White, and the lot number is 46 out of 50. So these had a very funky release. Basically Virgil designed 50 different colorways, which look pretty similar to one another. And it seems like each country and each region is getting, like, different lot numbers. I'm not really sure what the process behind that was, but that's just basically how the thing is set up. And we got two different colorways in my country. I think that might be it for now. I don't think there will be any like further releases. We got number 18, and then this is 46, which arrived in the mail about a couple hours ago. And man, I'm so glad that I was able to get my hands on these. I was originally gonna rant on about how the sneaker system is such BS, and especially how the Nike marketing team in Korea screwed us over because of their lazy ass marketing plans and all that. But I'm not gonna go into that. I'm just gonna keep that to myself, maybe for a different video, because I don't want to bore you guys with some this level of stupidity that is just like unfathomable. But anyways, let's just dive right into the shoe. Now it seems like Nike's been blessing me with a lot of Off-White dunks, because I was able to cop the the original, the white and green pair, as well as the red and gray pair, and then I also got the University Gold rubber dunks, and then now I got these for retail as well. So again, this is lot number 46 out of 50, and as you can see, the entire upper is predominantly done in this gray and kind of like white or off-whitish color. And so this gray part is actually leather, and the leather quality is quite nice. It's very smooth and plush to the touch. I guess it's very similar to the leather that we've seen on the the original white and green pair that I actually reviewed a couple months ago. And I really enjoy wearing that pair, and this leather is actually very, very comfortable once it breaks in. So it does have a slightly premium feel to it. And then underneath the gray Nike swoosh we see here, you got that canvas material, this white or off-white canvas material here. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I guess it goes quite well with the entire like off-white theme of that DIY look and the deconstructed look. Because I've seen that the other one, the lot number 18, has like suede for the gray parts, and then you got leather on the mid panel, which I think I prefer that setup a bit more, but because that gives off a more premium vibe in terms of materials. But it is what it is. I guess this is staying a bit more true to the overall theme of off-white. And then here, that gray leather extends all the way to the front in the toe box, the toe cap area. And as we've seen in the original Off-White dunks, you've got these like kind of lace holes drilled in here for the extra layer of laces that goes on top of the shoe, which I'm going to get into a little bit later. Now again, this leather is quite smooth. It's got a lot of give, as you can see. And then on the toe box area, you see more of that canvas material with perforated holes. It almost reminds me of the the kind of the canvas material that we've seen on the Off-White Jordan 1s. Obviously, that it looks very, very cool when it kind of ages and kind of yellows, but I'm not really sure if this is going to have the same effect. But that's just the material that they used on the toe box here. Now moving towards the center of the shoe, you've got this like cream colored or off-white colored cotton laces factory laced onto the shoe, and then on top of that you got this brown colored rounded laces here, the extra laces lining the entire shoe. And I think that's one of the most noticeable key features of the shoe. And it does take some time getting used to that kind of design choice, but I think it's it really stands out and it kind of sets it apart from any like regular dunks. And I think it's a pretty cool detail. Obviously, you have the choice of kind of taking it off, but I'm not really sure why you would do that because let's be honest, this is a loud shoe to begin with, so having some extra details wouldn't, hurt that much. Anyways, underneath that, you've got this really, really nice pre-yellowed mesh tongue here. It looks pretty gross at first, but I think it's got that similar vibe to the, say, like the pre-yellowed outsoles that we've seen on the Off-White Jordan 5s. I think it's a really cool detail. It gives off a kind of like a vintage vibe, very well aged vibe. So I think it goes along quite well with the overall look of the shoe. I'm not complaining. It does look gross, but I'm not really complaining. And then you got this huge hole cut out in the middle of the tongue here. And we've seen this whole detail on some other Off-White models, such as I think it was like the Vapor Runners or whatever, and then also the Jordan 5s and some other shoes like that. And then here obviously we also have the exposed tongue feature that we've seen over and over and over on Off-White shoes. And then on the side of the tongue you got that vintage that retro Nike text logo with the orange Nike swoosh embroidered onto this white nylon tag. And then another very, very noticeable key feature of all Off-White shoes are this zip tie, this cream-colored zip tie where it has the Off-White branding, as well as that. I think it's supposed to be like a logo that resembles a human face as well as some hands. And then you also have the lot number here that reads lot 46 out of 50. So again, this is the 46th model out of all the 50 models here. And then on the back side of the shoe, you got more of that gray leather extending all the way towards the heel counter here. I'm not really sure what that stands for, but it's some sort of number coding. Please let me know down in the comment section if you know what that means. I'm not really sure. I didn't really do my research on that. But anyways, you also have that sky blue leather tag here that we've seen on a lot of other Nike Off-White collab shoes. And on the back side, you've got more of that kind of a canvas material here on the heel counter area. And then on the heel tab, you've got that Nike text logo printed on to the leather in black. It's very shiny. It's very on point. I think the QC, I think I've mentioned this in a previous video about Off-White dunks. It's just that the QC on these models is really, really, really nice. I think Nike pays special attention when they put these models together. Now on the medial side, you've got that, Nike Off-White lettering with the Beaverton, Oregon, text all printed in this beautiful silver print. As you can see, it's very shiny. It makes the shoe pop a bit more, and I think it's a very, very nice detail, that keeps the Off-White theme alive. And then rest is just basically the same deal on the medial side. And then here on the inside of the shoe, what I've noticed is that, the sock liner here is actually this cream colored leather. And the leather is very, very smooth and well cushioned. As you can see, it's got a lot of give as I run my finger across it. So you can see that it's very well padded and well cushioned. And this is different from the original Off-White dunk because I think the sock liner was actually like that kind of like green mesh material on my pair. I'm not really sure if this is the same for every single model that released all 50 models, but at least for lot 46, this is the setup of the sock liner here, as you can see. And here on the insole, you got I guess like a very like vintage yellowed out insole with that, once again, that off-white face logo printed in black. And you also have the typical shoelaces printing on the white laces here. Again, this is factory laced, so I'm not gonna unlace it just now. I'll probably unlace it when I'm gonna wear it. But moving back to the outside of the shoe, you got that typical Dunk midsole in this eggshell colored rubber material. And then here on the rear end of the midsole, you got this almost like a tie-dye pattern, kind of like orange and greenish TPU material attached onto the midsole that reads 46 of 50. So this text is basically different for every lot number, and then I think the color of this tab, I would say, is different as well. Now, I'm not really a big fan of this particular detail because I mean it does make sense that Virgil kind of wanted to separate each model from one another with the different like tongue color, as well as the different zip tie color and the laces. I think that's all fine. It's just that I'm not a huge fan of this design choice because it feels really funny saying this about an off-white collab shoe, but it feels really, really tacky, like unnecessarily tacky, because I think it really takes away from the kind of like the artsy look of it, more of the premium vibe. Makes the shoe look pretty cheap, in my opinion. I'm not really complaining that much. I mean, it's his design and he can do whatever he wants to, but it's just that I think Virgil could have, definitely devised a better way to, distinguish between the pairs, at least, for the numbering segment of it, or whatever. I mean, it looks kind of, just too much, in my opinion. And again, that's really quite funny, saying that is too much about an off-white collab shoe, because everything about the shoe is too much, but in a beautiful way. But this is just kind of unnecessary, in my opinion. Anyways, moving on to the outsole of the shoe, you've got this beautiful light gray outsole with the typical traction pod that we see on Dunks. And then on the midfoot area, you've got that Nike branding with the Nike swoosh logo. And the other side of the shoe is basically the same deal. Nothing too special about that. I'm not really sure if there's a difference. Okay, so for the insole on the right shoe, you've got the hand logo, the off-white hand logo printed in black here, as you can see. Now, I want to cut this one short and then actually talk about the box as well, because I rarely show you guys boxes unless they're like kind of worth talking about, and this is definitely worth talking about, in my opinion. I was actually expecting like the silver boxes that we've seen on a lot of the off-white Dunk collabs, but instead they sent us this like cardboard box without the cutout holes, and then the Nike swoosh is almost like a child's drawing with markers. Obviously, this is actually printed onto the cardboard box. It's not actually like somebody drew with a marker or anything like that. And then you got these holes, cutout holes with the plastic, translucent plastic material here covering up the holes. And then you've got the off-white branding, as well as that face and hand logo printed in this kind of green or turquoise color. So it seems like they did a really good job of, adding the branding onto the shoe. And then here you've got a white sticker with the team that created it, the location of production, or at least the design. And then you got the style number and the season number as well. And then one thing that I found really cool is that adding to that kind of DIY and deconstructed look, they added this detail of this like kind of like the edges being taped with this like black colored tape. When I kind of like examined this more closely, I noticed that this isn't actually tape. But what they did is that they actually, kept the kind of the texture alive of the box tape. And I think they did a really good job of, making this look like actual tape. And once you run your fingers across this, you can just tell that this is actually a layer of this kind of, I'm not really sure what you would call it, but it's actually like attached onto the box, instead of being like a separate, a tape material or anything like that. So I just want to point out that they did a really, really good job of, adding all these details onto the box and the packaging. As you can see, this is actually a layer of something, just really glued or printed onto the box instead of being like something taped over the box or anything like that. But moving on to the side of the box, you've got this entire lot number from 1 through 50, and what they did is they also marked the lot number of the shoe that is inside the box. So obviously mine has the 46 ticked off like that. So for us, I guess the people who got the lot number 18 would have that 18 ticked off for their boxes. And then around that, I think it's just the same old deal. I'm not gonna go into the paper because it's just your regular off-white collab yellow paper with the off-white branding on there. I think that's the off-white branding on the tape is a bit different from previous models, but it's nothing huge. I for some reason I find that the marker swoosh really cool, but that's just me. Anyways, returning to the shoe now, wearability wise, I'm not gonna lie, this is a very loud shoe, but I really enjoy wearing my off-white Dunk in the green and white colorway. And it is an attention getter. It's really, a neck turner, and people really ask me about the shoe and all that, give me a lot of compliments. So wearability wise, I don't think it should be a problem pulling this off, especially because the overall colorway is a bit more toned down compared to, say, like the original models. But having said that, I think the wearability would vary depending on the color of the laces and the tongues and the zip ties that you get, because some pairs have like really like crazy colors such as like violet or light blue, light green or something like that. But this particular lot number has a very simple clean colorway all across the shoe except for maybe this orange part here. But still, I think it would go really well with some khaki pants or gray sweatpants or black jogger pants for the fall time. So that's just my opinion. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna rock these just yet because I still have a lot of fun wearing my green pair. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with this one. Resale wise, I don't know. I really don't want to talk about the resale price on this one because my theory is that say you live in a country where you got lot numbers, or lot numbers say, I don't know. I don't want to mention the numbers. Let's say just like letters, like lot A and D. And then you live at, you want a lot B from a different country. Obviously, lot B is going to cost you a lot more if you live outside of that country and you decide to buy those shoes through StockX or something like that. And I'm not really sure if that's worth it. If you live in a region where you got some sort of lot number, it might just be worth copying that pair for resale locally instead of trying to cop something like overseas or anything like that. I mean, if you get what I mean, you'll probably agree with me. I mean, obviously there might be a super clean colorway, say like lot number 1 that you really want. It might be worth copying that pair if you've been saving up a lot, but I don't think it's really worth spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars just to cop a slightly different variant of a single silhouette. So that's just my opinion on the resale. Would these go up in value? Probably, but I'm not really sure how high they would go because you've got like 49 other versions that look basically the same to this one. I think they're quite widely available compared to, you know, say like some other super limited, you know, collab shoes like the Travis ones or anything like that. But anyways, yeah, that's basically it. I'm sorry the video took a little bit longer than usual, but I really wanted to show you guys the full-on detail of the shoe as well as the box, because we're probably the only ones getting this particular lot number. So I just want you guys to kind of take a closer look at the shoe. But anyways, that's basically it. I feel really blessed to have copped this pair through exclusive access for retail. And I hope you guys can cop some other lot numbers in your respective countries. But anyways, that's it for today, and hopefully I'll be able to cop more shoes to review for you guys. So stay tuned for more, and thanks for watching.